Hi folks, it's that crazy time of the year when you really look forward to gifts arriving, and if other people aren't giving you gifts, you get them for yourself. The other day at work, I was kind of losing the will to live, and I really needed to give myself something, to give myself a reason to exist. So I ordered this, a new toy for the shack. Stick around, find out what's in the box. Yeah, I know I'm a nerd. Spoiler alert, you are going to see some CW content on this video, but if you're not into CW, please don't click away. Stick around for a little while. I'm hoping that I can convert you. The big reveal. It is a J-type key with the locking bar, and I guess this is what you'd call an American style key, a J38 style key. Quick word to the non-CW crowd before you click off this video. Stick around because I want to tell you some of the benefits of CW, and I know you've had it rammed down your throat. I'm not going to be doing that. I just want to tell you a little bit about CW and how it can enrich your life. I know I'm sounding like one of those people that bangs on your door on a Sunday morning, but please stick around. I promise you it'll be worth it. So, why CW? When I came back to the hobby after 30 plus years of being away, it's been nearly 2 years now, I wasn't expecting to hear any CW on the bands. I expected it to have died a natural death as a result of being an old technology that isn't easy to learn and maybe is unnecessary. Well, I was pleasantly surprised not only to hear CW, but hear a lot of it around. And then I started hearing about things like SOTA and POTA, and people are actually climbing up mountains and sending Morse code just for the heck of it. And I think one of the fantastic things about CW is that these small rigs that you can operate, they operate very efficiently and they're cheap to build. And if you're a home brewer, they're very, very easy to build. When I came back to the hobby, I decided that one of the first things I wanted to do was build a complete station from the key right through to the antenna and make a QSO on gear that I built totally myself. Admittedly, it was rough, it was ready, but I was successful in that endeavor, and I felt a lot of pride by doing that, and also I got a huge amount of enjoyment out of it as well. So I always say to people, obviously things like learning Morse code, things like learning the technology and the things you need to know to be a home brewer take time. But with anything that takes time, you put effort into it and it's worthwhile. I can 100% promise you that if you spend the time, you will definitely reap the benefits. And I must say, it's never been a better time to be doing that than right now. You've got access to cheap test gear that people could have only dreamt of being able to use back in the 80s and 90s when I first started doing this. You've got access to cheap electronics, and you've got access to the internet and an absolute treasure trove of information that's at your disposal. So please give CW a go. You will not regret it. Speaking of all things Morse code, and for people that might want to find their way into the wonderful world of CW, there is an easy way. Now, the other night, I was tuning around on 80 meters, wondering whether I would hear anyone sending any code. And amazingly, I heard some code that was really nice and slow, what they call QRS. And that's the Q code for send slowly, or shall I send slowly if you put a question mark after it. And I ran into a gentleman who was running a net on 80 meters, and his name's Mark, and his call sign is Victor Kilo 2 Kilo India, formerly Victor Kilo 6 Quebec India. And he started this net back in WA, I think a couple of years ago. It's been going a while now. And basically what happens is on a Tuesday night from 0900 Zulu, you can listen for slow Morse, QRS Morse code between 3540 and 3570 kilohertz. So this is a newsletter. People send in stuff, pictures of their keys, pictures of their gear. It's a great site for sharing all things CW. So I will put a link to Mark's email. You can ask to be put on the email list. I didn't realize, but apparently my email is not on my QRZ page, and I thought it was. So I'm going to have to jump in there and edit my page. And I was just wondering why Mark was asking for the email, and he asked for it a couple of times. I was thinking, just get it off the QRZ page. Well, apparently it wasn't there. So I got to send my email address via Morse code. I don't know, that might be a first. Probably not. So get yourself on that mailing list. Who better to tell you all about this wonderful venture than Mark himself? Just quickly listen to this small audio promo that plays on the Wireless Institute of Australia as well. It'll tell you all about it.
If you happen to listen to the right part of the 80-metre band on a Tuesday evening, you might hear something that sounds like this.
That's CQ QRS.
The CQ QRS net has been running every single Tuesday for the last 2 years and has been unbelievably popular. There are usually half a dozen, and a couple of times up to 18 stations, popping in and out when they can over the 4 or 5 hours. The aim is to encourage new CW operators to have a go at slow CW in a safe and really friendly environment, where slow speed and lots of mistakes are par for the course. It's all about having a go, starting with a basic call sign and RST exchange, then over time getting better and better. The net also attracts its fair share of old-timers who enjoy helping others to have a go or just to enjoy the banter. So this might be just the opportunity you've been waiting for to have a go at transmitting on CW, or perhaps just to stop the contacts rusting up on your key. Doesn't matter whether you're brand new to the code or if you're an old-timer who would like to have a bit of fun and help encourage new operators by having simple, safe QSOs at their speed. We'd love to have you join in. The net starts at 0900 Zulu every Tuesday on 80 metres between 3540 and 3570 kHz, and there's stations in the west, east and in between listening out for your CQ QRS call. For more information and to receive our weekly CQ QRS RagTune newsletter, contact me, Mark, VK2KI and VK6QI, via the email address on qrz.com, or you'll find my email address in the text version of this segment on the WIA website, wia.org.au. Click on News Broadcast. Cheers from Mark, VK2KI and VK6QI.
Thank you, Mark. And I will also put a link to his QRZ page where you'll find his email address. Now, for all those people who like straight key porn, let's have a quick look at my very small collection of keys. If you have a collection of keys that you would like to show off, by all means, make a video for me. That would be a really great thing. And send me the link, because I would love to see your collection of keys and a little bit of information about them too. I cannot get enough of this stuff. Now, here is my straight key collection, and God help me if I ever get involved with bugs or iambic keyers, because it's going to be the end of me financially, I reckon. I just love to collect different keys. I love them just as objects in and of themselves. When I stopped doing ham radio back in the early 90s, I actually gave away the 2 keys that I had, and I'm very sad that I did that. One of them was a beautiful key. It was an XPMG key. It's gone. We'll have to look around and one day maybe get one like it. This is the first key that I ever got. It's what I kind of cut my teeth on when I was becoming a novice. Dick Smith sold them. They sold for like a very small amount of money. You can use it. It does work. It does function as a straight key, but very toy-like and not a really serious key, but usable, and I have used it in the past. Now, when I returned to the hobby of ham radio, I was lamenting the fact that I didn't have a key, and my focus was on building a completely homebrew station. So I got to thinking, well, why not build everything, including the key, the antenna, the lot? So we ended up building a homebrew 80-meter transmitter and receiver combination, but we didn't have a key to operate it on. And this is my homebrew Morse code key that I constructed from bits and pieces that I actually found at Bunnings Warehouse. That's a kitchen door knob. This is a kitchen door handle cut down. And these other bits that look a bit Art Deco-like are actually bits used for keeping a door open. And this device here would actually be stuck to the wall and it would grab hold of the door using this bit here. But we've worked it all in to create the hinge for our homemade CW straight key. Video in the ham playlist below to see how that was built and made. So the journey back into CW meant I started to really want to get myself a professionally made key. Not that the homebrew key didn't work, but it had its issues, let's say that. So this is a high mount. It's an HK703 key, and this is more like the type of key I would have used when I was at sea as a radio officer. You quite often saw these in ship's radio rooms, or keys like it. And so I thought, why not? It's got a really hefty base. It's beautifully balanced. It's a really beautifully engineered key. It's probably quite old, but still operates beautifully because it's so well made. Hunting around in a ham site looking for a power meter, an SWR meter, I happened to sight this key here. And it's another high mount. This one is an HK702, but it has this beautiful marble base. And it had a couple of little cracks in the base which were advertised, but essentially apart from that, it's in really good condition. It's even got the Perspex cover that goes over the top of the working bits and pieces, and the little high mount logo. And this is a lovely key. What I normally do is I keep the large jack on that key because I can use that in my TS520 rig, which has that type of jack in it. And for my QRP rigs, and for my Hermes Light 2, we use the smaller jack on the other high mount. A little while after that, I decided I was really looking for one of those little boat tub keys, and I couldn't get one of those, but I saw this online. It needs to be mounted on a small piece of timber or on a base because it bottoms out a bit. It needs a little bit of work, but I am thinking this may one day be incorporated permanently into some form of QRP transceiver that I can take SOTA. So that is where that's going to live eventually. It has somewhere to go. And last but not leastly, this is the J38 key, American style key, and saw this online. I think it was about 80 bucks. And I thought, yes, you need to come home with me. So hit the buy on eBay, and it has arrived, and I'm a happy chappy. It looks like a really nice key. It needs a bit of a cleanup, but whoa, nearly dropped it. But yeah, we'll get that sorted out shortly. Well, thanks for sticking around right to the end of the video. Please let me know if you've reconsidered the mode of CW, or if it's at least piqued your interest on this subject. Hope you've enjoyed the video, and I will see you in the next episode of The Art of Engineering 7.3.